Hey race fans, thanks for joining in. Another tough guys moment here with Mike Nazaruk. Now, obviously, I'm 70 years old, so I don't remember Mike. He was long gone by the time I really started paying attention in the late 50s. But the thing about Mike Nazaruk was his nickname was Iron Mike, and he was a World War II. He was in the Marines in World War II, and he fought in the Battle of Guadacanal and Guam. And he told some of his buddies in the Marines, if I survive World War II, I'm going to become a race driver. So he goes back, I think he's from New Jersey. He's delivering flowers in the afternoon, and he's a welder, I think, at night. And he starts going to midget races. He gets a ride. He becomes two-time ARDC champ, and the ARDC midgets that was a tough series. And lo and behold, then he starts driving sprint cars, and suddenly he's going to Dayton and Winchester and Salem, and he's one of the guys to beat. So he had a lot of natural ability. But in 1951, he went to Indianapolis. Never driven an Indy. Finished second in the Indy 500 as a rookie. He also finished, I think, fifth in 1953 or 54. So he only made the race 3 times. But he just had such a natural ability, and he was this tough guy, and his nickname was Iron Mike, and he had these massive forearms, and he was a Marine. And I don't know, he had a lot of friends. Bob Gates did a really good story for him on Speed Sport News, and he basically had a quote in that story that said, "Don't get between me and the checkered flag, you're not going to like the result." So he was kind of an intimidating guy, I think, to the guys. When you read some of the old historic pieces about him, I think he was respected and also feared, which is, probably a good thing to be back then. But he lost his life at Langhorne in 1955. He's only 33 years old. And again, he packed all this racing into 4 or 5 years, and came out of nowhere. And when there weren't driver schools, and he didn't spend 5 years in he didn't spend 5 years in sports cars and 5 years in midgets, and then worked his way into Indy cars. I mean, he went midgets, sprint cars, Indy 500, second place. So his Bob Schweikert was a good friend of his, and was always spoke very highly of Mike Nazaruk, and said, this guy was going to win the Indy 500. He was going to be a national champion. And the day he lost his life at Langhorne, in Bob Gates' story, he had the flu real bad, and he was just going to not run the race. But then he got to thinking about feeding the wife and the kids and the family, so he went ahead and raced, and he lost his life at Langhorne, like so many people did. But I guess if you could look back at go to Google Iron Mike Nazaruk, and maybe you can read a little bit more about what this guy was. But he's exactly the kind of guy that you would anticipate being a race driver. In a t-shirt, big biceps, big forearms, this rugged-looking guy. Survived World War II, the Battle of Guadacanal, and became one hell of a race driver. He's the kind of guy you wish, looking back, I wish I could have watched him race or got to know him a little bit just to know more about him. But thankfully, there's enough footage and enough facts that we can put a little story together, and he's definitely a guy that should be in the Tough Guys series. So thanks for watching. Our next one's going to be on Sammy Sessions, and we appreciate your patronage as we're trying to find some races to watch. Too bad I can't. Thanks for watching RACER.com. Stay calm. We're going to be racing here any month now.